Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Sam Avery. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday night in Leeds, isn't it? This is where it's at. Thanks so much for coming. It's good to see you all. My name's Sam. Who's seen me before? Who's not seen me before? The second group sounds happier. That's weird, isn't it? Who follows me online? Who's been dragged here against the will? Just much more masculine tone to the second group, wasn't it? I'm glad you're here. It's great. It's such a great venue, innit? And it's great to be here. And I love doing this. I love doing shows. And I love the fact that this job, you can choose how you start your day. Like, you can't do that in the real world. You don't get a good introduction in the real world, do you? I've only had a good intro once, and it was dropping the kids off at school. And then I went to the coffee shop next door. And as I opened the door, the opening notes to Shania Twain, "Man, I Feel Like a Woman," kicked in. The timing was immaculate. I just opened the door and I went, da, 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 da. And everyone looked at me, so I just went, "Let's go, girls." It's amazing. So it's good to be here in Leeds. And this is a nice loud microphone as well. Loud microphone. It's good to have a loud microphone in it when you're doing a venue like this. I used to work in a shop years ago, and I got sacked for making inappropriate tannoy announcements. I used to go on and go, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sainsbury's. Please be aware I came in early this morning to lick several bananas and finger a kiwi. Her name's Carol and she works on the deli counter." What do you mean I'm sacked? That's ridiculous. Me and the wife aren't talking at the moment. We haven't fallen out. We're just going for a meal next Saturday and we want to save the conversation. Otherwise there's nothing to talk about, is there? Guess what happened in Tesco? One more syllable, you're going back in the shed. All right. So otherwise we're going to have nothing to talk about in that balance spell between the starters and the main course before the wine kicks in. So please, save that yarn for later. Because me and my wife, we've been married now for 15,000 years. So we still talk, but we do it differently now. We still sext. Oh yeah, we sext. Yeah. But we only use emojis. So I sent an aubergine, she sent a peach. Ooh. I sent a finger, and she sent two. Ooh. So I sent a fist, and she sent a stop sign. Fair enough. Got me all flustered though. I didn't know what to do. I was just pressing all the buttons then trying to make it make sense. I was like, there's a boxing glove because I can go 12 rounds. Yeah. There's a Happy Meal because I come with a toy. I don't know what I'm doing here. There's a wheelchair because that's what I'm going to put you in. Yeah. She sent me back a gold medal because apparently I always come first, which is nice, isn't it? It's a nice one for the ladies there. No, I'm joking though, because I refused to have sex with my wife until I had a vasectomy. And ladies and gentlemen, I've just had a vasectomy. Can we have a round of applause for my vasectomy? Has anyone had a vasectomy recently? No. There's a lot of women in, so it would be a bit weird. It's hard to get one. I thought you could just get one. I thought you could just book one online. I knew there'd be a waiting list, but no, you get, like, the doctor phones you up and he asks you questions about your life and your ambitions and your goals. I was like, "Mate, it's half term. I've got 2 kids and they're doing me fucking head in. Can you just cut me bollocks off ASAP, please? Just whatever you got to do, slam him in a car door, mate. Just because I am this close to going to Woucher. Honestly, just sort it out." Because I've got 2 kids. Twin boys, 8 years old. Best thing that ever happened to me. And I love my kids. I love my kids. But don't want any more. No, don't need any more. Do you know why? Because I could not put up with another decade of watching CBBC. I could not do that. I just couldn't go. I called Hey Dougie a knobhead the other day. That's when you know you've got issues, haven't you? Because the only person I like on CBBC is Andy. Do we know Andy? Yeah, he doesn't even need another name to go with it, does he? Just Andy, just one of those names like Cher or Madonna, you know. I love him though. He's on every show on CBBC, isn't he? Every show, he's got every show. Andy's Dinosaur Adventure, Andy's Prehistoric Adventure, Andy's Aquatic Adventure, Andy's Gypsy Nightmares, Andy's Crystal Meth Adventures. It's just ridiculous. I don't think he did a dinosaur one. The others are all legit, completely. I was doing a gig with him last year in Liverpool, Andy and the Odd Socks, his band were playing, and I was hosting the main stage, and I was so excited, and I told my kids, and they were excited, and that made me super excited, because my kids, I don't know if yours are the same, could not give a fuck about anything I do. Kids don't care, do they? I reckon Neil Armstrong came back from the moon, and the kids were like, did you bring biscuits and a fridge magnet? Because if not, just fucking do one, mate. I'm not asked. Prefer Buzz Aldrin anyway, mate. You're a dickhead, so... I said, I'm doing a gig with Andy. They went, oh my God, you're doing a gig with Andy? I went, yeah, Andy. And they were like dead excited. So I waited. I thought, I've got to get a selfie. So I waited for the right moment. And it was just before he went on stage. I went, Andy, I'm really sorry to interrupt. Do you mind if I just get a quick selfie? Because me kids love you. And he went, yeah, sure, mate. And he leant in with that Hollywood smile. And I took the picture and I sent it to my wife. And the kids were buzzing. And I was buzzing. So I saved it as the wallpaper on my phone. Now, the next day, same festival, same lineup, different audience. Andy and the On Socks are on last. And they're waiting to go on. And he just says to me, excuse me, mate, you haven't got the time, have you? And I pulled out my phone. It's the picture of me and him for the day before. I've never seen someone so quickly just go, oh, fucking hell, Jesus Christ. Is that the BBC? I've got an idea for a new show. It's called Andy's Serial Killer Adventures. I've got our first subject. So it's good to be here. And I know people have come here expecting some kind of advice. And I don't want to disappoint you, but I know that every mum and every dad in this room at some point has suspected that you are a terrible parent. And I am here tonight to tell you that you are not. If you've ever opened the fridge just to mouth the words, fuck off. Doesn't make you a terrible parent. If you've ever watched a documentary on prisons and thought, what crime could I commit to get myself a little bit of me time? Me sex life would improve and I'd learn a trade. It'd be a crack in 3 months. That doesn't make you a terrible parent. If you've ever felt your brains oozing out your ear as you feign interest in another 12-minute TED Talk about Roblox from an 8-year-old, make it stop. Doesn't make you a terrible parent. No, because the truly terrible parents never suspect they're a terrible parents. They're living in a different world to the rest of us, just drinking moonshine on the school run, booting the kids in the heads. Fucking dad of the year, mate, yeah, fucking yeah. Whereas we're all plagued with regret and doubt, and it's ridiculous. Because if only all of us could take the advice that we give our own children. Like, what do you tell your kids when they try something new? I know what I tell my kids. I don't say to them, did you succeed? I say, did you try your best? And if they tried their best, then they did not fail. Now, we don't take that advice of ourselves, do we? Like, I'm doubting my prowess all the time. You know, I'm trying to drum manners into my kids. One of them burped the other day, and I said, what do you say? He said, please like and subscribe. I was like, oh, shit. Making the right pigs here of this, aren't I? So I'm going to share with you tonight 3 occasions when I was a terrible parent. Now, I have come to the conclusion that I am not a terrible parent, but on these 3 occasions, I most certainly was. Occasion number 1, my boys were 6 months old and they just moved into their own bedroom, so we're trying to get them settled, but it's difficult. And we had this new family rule, so if one of them woke up and they were unsettled in the night, if it was after 5 a.m., instead of trying to get them settled back in their room, we'd just bring them in with us. So I hear one of them wake me up in the night, I run over, pick him up, check the time, 5:10, new family protocol, bring him back to the bed. Put him on my chest, duvet over us, back to sleep. Bob's your uncle. But there's a smell. And it's a bad smell. But the thing is, at that point, little baby's in your house fucking stinks, doesn't it? So you don't really notice a bad smell because you're so used to it. And it's horrible that strangers come to your house and you don't know that where you live smells like shit and baby wipes constantly. It's just a terrible situation. You become blind to the smell. It's like that friend from school whose behaviour is just unbelievably terrible, but you've just known him since he was 15. So you're like, well, that's just Dave. That's just what he does. He always gets his knob out. That's just what he does. He's actually a really good teacher. Ofsted don't agree, but he's all right, you know. So I'm lying there with my kid on my chest and I'm thinking, this is a bad smell, but it's no worse than normal. And then something shoots up my nostril and I think, well, that's not good. And I put my hand down and it feels greasy. Like a bag of chips. And I pull my hand up and it's more like chips and gravy. It's just shit everywhere. All over my chest, his legs, all over the duvet, down the side of the bed. There's a big trail going back to their room, all the way back. that I haven't seen. I haven't even noticed it. It's like Hansel and Gretel have run out of breadcrumbs and decided to shit themselves away home. Just follow me, Gretel, follow me. And I look at my wife's pillow and there's a Nike swoosh of excrement on the pillow. And that made me yelp. Have you ever yelped like a dog getting his tail caught in a dog? I went, oh! And my wife woke up, she went, oh my God, is that shit? I went, oh, that's shit on my pillow, is that shit? Do you know what I said? I said, don't swear in front of the kids, love. She went, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying my best. She said, well, your best is not good enough. I said, I'm acutely aware of that. There's excrement on my face and it's not mine. I don't know why I added that last bit. It's not mine. Like, if it was mine, everything's fine. If it's... There's shit on my face, but I know the owner, so I'm very trustworthy. She said, your best is not good enough. I said, I'm very aware it's not good enough. But we're all just trying our best, aren't we? That's all any of us can do. Our maximum potential is to try our best. We can't break that ceiling, you know, and we're all trying our best. It doesn't matter how you feel, you are trying your best. But it's hard, isn't it? It's hard because the world is not trying its best. The world is upside down, isn't it? Like when the Queen died, everyone said, the Queen was amazing. She outlived 15 prime ministers, which is amazing. But my kids are 8, and they've outlived 6 prime ministers. And about 12 Everton managers as well while we're here, which is also a fucking disgrace. But enough of that. We're here to have a laugh, yeah. Because it's just a nightmare. It's a mess. Like people saying it's not a cost of living crisis. Bullshit it is. I bought a Freddo yesterday on Klarna. That's how bad it is. It's bad, isn't it? And where is the money? Where is the money? Because we haven't got it, have we? We haven't got it. It's the same amount of money, but someone else has got it. Who's got the money? Who's got it? I'll tell you who's got the money. I'll tell you who's got all of our money. Captain Tom's daughter. That's who's got all of our money. Making that poor old man walk up and down the garden. I don't want to walk up and down the garden. I don't want to do this. I just want to watch Last of the Summer Wine in my chair. Can you not just get up and down the garden, you old bastard? I want to build a gym in my back garden. Go on. We're all going, yeah. Go on, Tom, you old man. Go on. And she's like, yeah, God bless the NHS. I'm going to build a spa. Which they've just started knocking down as punishment. It's not punishment enough in my book. No. Instead of knocking it down, the real punishment should be, we paid for it, let us use it. Turn it into a community swimming bath. That'd be well more punishment, wouldn't it? And there's a family from Barnsley rubbing the verrucas everywhere. It says no heavy petting. I'm not heavy petting, I'm fingering. That's different. It's horrible, isn't it? It's why, you know, every 6 months or so on social media platforms, they release a new app, don't they, where we can all upload photos of ourselves and it ages us. And I think we don't need technology to look haggard in this country, do we? We just need to live our lives and we'll be fucked in no time, won't we? Sorry to look at you, sir, when I said that bit. I just, for the first time, I looked at you. It's like looking in the mirror, mate. This is amazing. Just do day-to-day things. Just look at the news or read your gas bill or try and get a doctor's appointment. I mean, that'll put fucking years on you, won't it? I've been on hold that long. It's actually cured, so I don't need you anymore. If you really want to speed up the aging process, go to university, spend 3 years living with people you don't like, studying a course you don't enjoy, to get a qualification you can't even use. Get yourself into more debt than the third world, just so at the end of it all, you got to move back into your mum's with low self-esteem, poor mental health. More chance of getting scurvy than getting on the property ladder. Your mum comes in with a camping stove. I'm going to do some 9p noodles for tea. Are you cold, son? No, we can't afford the heat. And put another jumper on, will you? And you turn the TV on just for a little bit of warmth on your face. And through the crisp packets that you put on your hands to keep your fingers warm, you see some has-been celebrity on the TV saying, well, if you just cancelled Netflix, you could afford a house. Fuck you, Kirsty Allsopp! Not even sure that was comedy then, to be honest. I think that was just a man having an angry rant. This felt less like a gig and more like a hostage situation for a short few seconds. Tell me if you've had this thought in your head, though, recently. The world's gone mad, right? Because that's like the screensaver in my mind. The world's gone mad. And that's what my mum says. And I'm trying not to say it out loud because I don't actually agree that it's just gone mad. I think the world's always been mad. It just feels more mad now, doesn't it? Because we've got phones so we can see everything. I don't know about you. I can't start my day until I've had a little bit of anxiety, you know? Wake up, oh, look at my phone. Oh, someone's been shot. Right, time for me Weetabix. That's nice. just nuts, isn't it? But my mum believes it's just gone mad. She thought it used to be, oh no, it never used to be like this, son. The whale's just gone mad. It never used to be mad. No, never used to be mad. We used to sit around back in the old days, sane as anything. We used to eat asbestos. We used to drink thalidomide. Oh, it was wonderful. I remember your Auntie Margaret saying to me, just before we drowned her for being left-handed, I remember her saying, the whale's gone mad. Get in the river, you knobhead. You're a witch now, Margaret. Give me them leeches. I'm getting a head cold. Thank you. This bloody whale's gone bloody mad, I tell you. So I don't know if it has just gone mad, but I'd love to see what aliens would make of planet Earth in 2024 if they landed. What are the humans doing about climate change? They're rinsing their yogurt pots. That will do less than fuck all. They've also banned the use of plastic straws. What do they use instead? Paper straws. Could they not just drink directly from the receptacle? No, not at all, sir. They like straws down here, and this is a hill they're willing to die on. Are they not concerned about the melting ice caps and the rising sea levels? No, they're far more worried about trans people for some reason. There must be millions of these trans people to cause such disruption. How many trans people are there? There's 37 of them, sir. But everyone's furious for some reason. What else do the humans argue about? Immigrants, sir. Oh, yes, immigrants. We have these in our database. This vile group of individuals who roam the earth like a virus, refusing to assimilate, destroying indigenous cultures. Sorry, sir, that group are not known as immigrants. Then what name do they go by? Expats, sir. What is the difference between an immigrant and an expat? Well, an expat likes a fried breakfast. That's about it, really. Should I ready the lasers and destroy this godforsaken place? Well, no, sir. I'm in Manchester, and it looks like they beat you to it already, sir. Doesn't quite work as a joke, that, because Manchester's actually quite a nice metropolitan city centre, but I just thought in Leeds, slag Manchester off. I'm in Manchester next week, and you are fucking getting it. It feels like, I think, in this country anyway, somebody, I don't know who, turned on a dickhead conveyor belt about a decade ago, and nobody can find the off switch. And this thing is out of control, just pumping dickhead after dickhead. And we can't kill them quick enough. We kill one, there's three more behind them. Just dickhead after dick. Joey Barton, Rishi Sunak, Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson's been on that conveyor belt about 15 times, hasn't he? The man will not just fuck off, will he? He keeps going and then coming back. He's like, what are you doing? Just fuck off and leave. He's like, you know when you go to a party and someone spends ages saying bye to everyone, and then you go in the kitchen 40 minutes later and they're still there, and you're like, thought you gone? He's like a Boxing Day turd. I can't flush him. I can't flush him, love. We need to get a coat angle on this one. Like his mother should have done. I stand by that joke 100%. The world will be better without that man. I don't know, because he wasn't even the worst Prime Minister, was he? He opened some kind of portal to hell, which enabled the next two to just walk through, just like, oh, we're all having a go now. We can just, anyone could do it. If you've ever got imposter syndrome, and we all suffer from it from time to time, just look at the last three Prime Ministers this country has had and just think, I could probably do anything. I could do the Ironman marathon with a hangover on a pogo stick with one bollock, and it doesn't matter, does it? Because like Liz Truss was I mean, I've been on stage longer than she was Prime Minister already. Doesn't even matter what your politics are. She was terrible on every metric, wasn't she? No leadership, no charisma. I mean, Jesus, she had the personality of a bowl of oxtail soup, didn't she? She made Theresa May look like fucking Lizzo, didn't she? Just unbelievable. Who's going to play Liz Truss when they finally make that season of The Crown? Who's going to play her? Because they won't need an actor, will they? Just get one of the extras. Sorry, love, can you stay behind for 10 minutes? Is that all right? No lines to then, just do a weird curtsy, kill the Queen, tank the economy, and then fuck right off. 20 quid cash in hand, don't tell Kwasi. Go on, get out of it. Get out of it, you future ruining witch. Go on, be gone. Just nuts, because a lot of people aren't happy about stuff. And we're in Britain, so what are we going to do about it? I'll tell you what, nothing. What, queue up? Yeah. That'll show the bastards, won't it? It's funny, like, the different reactions, because, you know, in France, they raise the pension by 1 minute, and they just fucking burn Paris down, don't they? We're not standing for this, let's burn it! What are you doing in Britain? Oh, we're just getting Rogered senseless, that's all. Sebastian started a queue, but hopefully that's for lube, because this is starting to chafe terribly. Because none of it, we can't unite, we can't combine, because we're all fighting about things, petty things that aren't important. According to the media, every single one of us in this room is either woke or anti-woke, which is nonsense, isn't it? Because nobody can agree what the word woke actually means. The word woke used to mean something, but now it's just people don't like stuff. They say, oh, that's woke. Oh, I didn't like that film. Why? Well, it was a bit woke, wasn't it? Well, what does that mean? Well, it was a bit long. Well, that's not what it means, is it? You can't just throw that word and let it mean anything. It used to mean something. It used to mean being awake to injustice, which is an important thing as a species to try and evolve. Because if we're not awake to injustice, the fact that any one of us could become the victim of injustice, how are we going to evolve as a species? How are we going to transcend what we're doing at the moment? How are we going to understand that other people's existence on this planet is different from every single one else's? Because we're not going to do that. The thing is, now people just use that word when at a pensioner on Twitter for using the wrong pronouns that only became offensive 3 minutes ago. And nobody's told Doris, and she doesn't know, and everyone's like, you're a Nazi, Doris, you're a Nazi! I'm a Nazi? I thought this was teletext. Jesus Christ. Trying to get bambaboos out of here, mate, that's all. But when a word like that changes meaning so dramatically, it means that all these old white men can start using it as a reason why they're not getting exactly what they used to get in their heyday. Old white male comedians who were legendary are now not getting the same airtime that they used to. And instead of just understanding the showbiz isn't fair and the spotlight moves quickly, you know, they're blaming the woke brigade of being cancelled. People like John Cleese, right? We can all agree he's one of the finest comedians this country has ever seen, but now he's not on the TV as much as he used to be, and he's blaming the woke brigade. Oh, I've been cancelled. He's on the One show on BBC One. Oh, I've been cancelled. You haven't been cancelled. There's 7 million people watching you. You haven't been cancelled. I'm in a sex dungeon in Leeds, and you're saying you've been cancelled. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, they wouldn't make Faulty Towers today. And then about a month later, he said, we're making more Faulty Towers. How are they going to do that? Because you can't just be punching a Spaniard for laughs, can you? They can't. He can't get his visa anymore anyway. It's ridiculous. All these old gammon-faced dinosaurs, though, coming out and going, oh, you'd never catch me using a gender-neutral bathroom. Well, tell me this, mate. What the fuck do you do in your house? Because if you're shitting in the garden, I've got no time for you whatsoever. We're all arguing about that, and then last year was a year filled with strikes, and I was fully behind them all. And you might have been of a different opinion, and that's absolutely fine, but I was fully behind them all. I was like, you know, equal pay, health and safety, workers' rights. And then, do you remember they said, we're going to shut the schools? And I was like, well, hang on a minute. That's going to affect me personally, innit? Hypothetical industrial action. I love a bit of that. Driving past the picket line, beep, beep, yeah. I'm like Che Guevara, me. But close them schools again. I've spent enough fucking time with my kids over the last 5 years. Thank you very much. I don't need a minute more. If there's another strike and there's a picket line, I'm going to grab my two by the scruff of the neck and throw them through like a curling puck. Just get on. Go on, you couple of scabs. Get into school. Go and learn some shit about shit, whatever it is. Egyptian embalming methods. Front-loaded adverbials. Just so at the end of the day you can come home and refuse to share any information with me or your mother about anything at all. I don't know about your kids. Mine turn into the mafia at the end of school. What did you do today? I don't remember so good. There's a bruise on your leg there, son. I tripped. Forget about it. It's all right. I need a costume this Friday. What for, son? You ask too many fucking questions. I just need more than 30 seconds notice if it's Whale Book Day, because I've still got a stomach ulcer from last year, son. That's all I'm saying. I have this thought in my head as a parent. You might have this thought as well, and it's quite vague. But it's positive. It's meant to be. The phrase is, I'm going to make the world a better place. But what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything, especially if you don't act on it. And how do you make the world a better place anyway? It's such a vague term. It's like just this kind of, like, doesn't go anywhere. I suppose what I used to think in my 20s was that I'm going to change the world. That's the ignorance of youth. In my 30s, I realised I couldn't change the world because I couldn't move out of my mum's. Now, I'm in my 40s now, and I've moved out of my mum's, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't... It's the most patronising moments of my entire career, but thanks, I appreciate your support. I'm in my 40s now, and I know that I can't change the world, but I know what I can do is I can change my little area of the world. I can change how my kids influence the world, and I can change how they treat other people and how they communicate with other people, and that's a big undertaking, a big responsibility that we can all do. But how do you do that? Because I know that communication is the foundation to everything improving. Talking to each other, which people don't do enough anymore. Talking to our kids. My kids, I grew up working class. My kids are middle class, right? So I should feel on that metric like I've dragged them up. That should be a good thing. But the working class part of me just goes, what do these posh little twats know about anything? Born and bred in Liverpool, not a Scouse accent between them. Honestly, really well spoken. I was cooking the other day and I found a carrot that looked a bit rude. Now, dads, what do you do when you find a rude-looking carrot? You go and show the kids, don't you? I ran in, I went, look at this, what does this look like? One of them went, oh my God, Daddy. It looks like a plaited bagel. Plaited bagel? It looks like a cock, son. Big orange cock. Get back into school and finish your lesson. I'm going home. This is ridiculous. So I try and communicate. Now, we all say that we want our kids to communicate and tell us how they really feel. That's what we say. You know, when they huff and they puff and they leave the room, we say, I wish they just tell us the real emotions. But do we really want them to express themselves exactly? Would we really want to hear that? Because I know what my kids would say to me. They'd be like, Dad, I've been watching you for the last 8 years, and it's clear that you don't have a clue what you're doing. You say no biscuits, and then I see you eating biscuits in the kitchen. I saw you say fuck off into the fridge the other day, and that's weird. Don't mind me saying. You claim to have my best interests at heart, but I've been shuffling around in a pair of shoes a size too small for 6 weeks now. You probably think size doesn't matter because, yeah, I've seen you in the shower. I've seen what's going on there. It is not pretty. I'm glad I got the penis gene from my mother's side. That's all I'm saying. I'd rather walk out. Because how we communicate to our kids shapes how they view the world and how they communicate to other people. And so much communication isn't even the words we use. It's the sounds, isn't it? There's a study done about sighing. When we sigh, we're communicating not just to ourselves, but to everyone in our vicinity that we are in a negative mood. So it perpetuates. So next time you go to your partner, oh, and your partner goes, what the fuck's up with you? Next time, instead of going, oh, do this, instead go, oh. And they'll still say, what the fuck's up with you? But now they're intrigued. They think you've been sniffing marker pens again. There's a sound I make, and I only make it when I'm eating food that I don't expect to be nice. And it's this sound, it's very specific. It goes like this. Ah. Ah. That's a weird noise. Ah. I don't normally like corned beef. Ah. I couldn't make that noise anywhere else, could I? I couldn't make that noise in the bedroom. Ah. I don't normally like corned beef. Also, I couldn't make sex noises when I'm having a sandwich, could I? You know, oh, I mean, I don't know what noise that was. That's not my sex noise. Whoa, feel my fury. I don't make that noise. I'm actually a very quiet lover, really, because, you know, I don't want to wake her up, mainly. Euphemisms as parents are redundant. We say things that make no sense to our kids and we never explain them. My kids said, can we go swimming? I said, we only go swimming now and again. And they said, we'll go now and again later. I said, oh, no, that's not what it means. Now and again means never. The same as we'll see means you haven't got a chance, no chance. Ask your mother. Fucking not happening, mate. Not happening. So terrible parent story number 2, right? My kids were 3 years old and they were eating sandwiches and they kept throwing the sandwiches on the floor and I was too tired to explain what was going on. So in the end, I just went, right, if one more sandwich goes on the floor, That's the end of it. One of them wasn't listening. The other one had an existential crisis. He said, the end? I went, yeah, the end. He went, the end of it? I went, yeah, the end of it. He went, the end of me? I went, the end of you, yeah. If that'll make you eat your sandwich, I'll explain that in a minute. That's not good parenting, is it? That's like psychological trauma. Because that's not our job. Our job is not to play tricks. Our job is to explain the world to our children at all times and explain the fact that we don't understand it sometimes. That's okay as well. My kids, right? I was going up the stairs. My lad had gone for a wee, but he missed the toilet, so there was a little bit of wee on the floor, so he was mopping it up, which is a good thing. But he was using my towel. And all I could think of was, how long has this been going on? And what I wanted to do was just go, what the fuck are you doing? But I stopped myself. I didn't shout. I thought, I'm going to explain this to him. I said, oh, son, it's good that you're mopping up the wee, but don't use Daddy's towel, please. Mummy's towel's there. Use that one. She's been a proper bitch to me all week. Go on, get stuck. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to have a piss while I'm here, and and I'm just going to burn me toothbrush as well, because I saw you smiling earlier, and I don't know where that's been, so... I try and explain by showing. I gave them a bag of Haribo and I took 5 off them. They said, what are you doing? I said, well, that's tax, isn't it? They said, well, that's not fair. I said, well, life's not fair, and that's national insurance. That's your gas bill, that's your lecky, that's your student loan, that's your pension. They took all of them back off me. I said, what are you doing? They said, well, we set up an offshore tax avoidance scheme. And you owe us 30 quid. I was like, oh. We went to the Pizza Hut buffet, which is a rite of passage in our family. $5.99, eat as much as you want, so you know it's good stuff, obviously. And the lads had never been before, and they said, so we eat as much as we want, and when we're full, we go home. I said, that's not how it works, no. When you're full, that's when the real fun begins. When you're full, that's when you start to really load the carbs in. When you're full, you start to see your reflection in the window and you regret every single life choice you've ever made. That's when the meal might be over, when every fart might be a poo. That's when when the staff are elbowing you, that's when you finish the pizza and you get some ice cream. Get stuck in, it's $5.99, come on. What do you expect? Because it's hard to not shout, isn't it? Because that temptation, you've got reality here, you've got the explanation there, but in the middle is the barrier of just shouting. And it's hard not to shout. And I'm not one of these psychos who says, well, I never shout to my children. No, I explain everything to my... Joshua, don't put your wet willy in the toaster, darling. Because it may cause electrocution and death. You can't do that. You got to go... You've got to get that willy out the toaster ASAP. That's the job. You can explain it in full detail afterwards. But while that willy's in the toaster, you are in a crisis. You've got to get it out, haven't you? But whenever I shout at my kids, there's a guilt chaser that just turns up straight away, and I just regret what I've done because I thought I could have done that better. Do you ever shout at your kids and say something ridiculous? Don't rub your bum on the good cushions. What the that implies there's a hierarchy of cushions. Some are bum rubbable, some aren't. Or start shouting and lose your train of thought halfway through and just gets derailed. Yeah, because I said to you early, didn't I? About your sister. You haven't got a sister. What am I talking about? Your partner's laughing from behind the door. It's not funny, you know, even though it's fucking hilarious because you're supposed to have authority and you've got none. And I said to you, no, I did. Okay, well, you're not listening, are you? You're not even listening to me. Your dad, you're not even listening. Well, what did I say then? What did I say? Huh? Word for word, you little bastard. Word for word. You're right, it does make no sense. Yeah, no, I'm not going to take any follow-up questions. I'm going to have to go out for a bit. I've lost it. My mum didn't shout at me. She had this thing called the look, which I don't think our generation have. I tried the look with my kids. They thought I was having a stroke. I was just like this. Can you smell toast? Do you need an ambulance? Like, what's going on? So explanation is key, but it's hard to know what's right and what's wrong because every situation's different and every child's different and we're all different and context is everything. And I don't think people understand that as much as they used to because we're all so used to having algorithms dictate every piece of content that we consume. Every device we've got, the content that is delivered to it is almost precisely designed based on every previous decision you've made on that device. So when people get something and they don't like it, they get annoyed, even though they could just move on and watch something else because the internet's massive. People watch my videos online and then go, that was boring. Well, why are you watching a 7-minute video? Just, how long's that poo? Just scroll on. Just watch something else. The internet's massive, isn't it? You know, I don't like Mrs. Brown's Boys. I'm not a fan. You might like them. I just don't like them. But I just know it's not for me. You know, it doesn't make me angry. I just know it's for other people. You know, it's for fucking morons, isn't it? It's for morons who had the brain removed at birth and don't want challenging on anything and like everything spoon-fed to them. But I don't get angry. It just made me angry. Just personally, I'd rather smear me testicles in lemon curd and slowly hump a wasp's nest than watch 5 seconds of that pure dog shit. But it doesn't make me angry. If you don't like a comedian, they are not suddenly now a so-called comedian. They are still a comedian. You just don't like what they do. I don't call Piers Morgan a so-called journalist. I call him a cunt. You know, that's different. It's different. That's different. Different thing, innit? So I try and encourage my two to follow their track, right? Do what makes them happy. Find something that they're passionate about. Find something that makes their heart sing. I've got friends who are older than me, and they still haven't found that thing, and that makes me sad. So I encourage my kids to just, if they want to follow the crowd, great, follow the crowd. But if you want to go that way, you go that way. So it was ancient Greek day in their school, and they had to dress as their favourite Greek icon. Now, we've got twins. So has anyone else got twins? Right, so how, is there an age gap between any, not an age gap, fucking hell. It's a weird question, wasn't it? Yeah, 15 years, mate. I went to prison. You in the middle, madam. How old are your twins? 7.5. I thought you were going to say 7 and 8 then. That was 7.5. How many minutes between the births? 2 minutes, right? So there's 1 minute between ours. Does your eldest one claim to be the eldest? Yeah, so does ours. He's a minute older. I'm the eldest, and the youngest one's going, it's a minute. Now, little do they both know, it took less time to conceive the pair of them. But it's like, I'm the eldest. So on Greek Day, dress as your favourite Greek icon. I said, what do you want to go as? And the eldest one said, I want to go as Zeus. I said, okay, we'll get you the costume. And I said to the younger one, what do you want to go as? He said, I want to go as the Parthenon, which is a Greek building. I said, how are you going to do that? He said, I'm going to get a costume. I'm going to make it myself with a bit of cardboard. I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to get some string. I'm going to put it over my neck. And he sat down. It took him ages. And he put it on. And he looked absolutely ridiculous. And I was so proud of what he'd done. And we were walking to school the next day. And he was just like that. I'm the motherfucking Parthenon, baby. But he's like, he's got a strut. No other Parthenons. Loads of uses, obviously. One guy is Thor, who's not Greek, right? One kid addressed as Spider-Man, which is not really in the spirit of things, is it? Unless you're firing feta cheese out your fingers, like that's not really, it's not very Greek, is it? So they come back from school that day, and he's like, yeah. I said, was there any other Parthenons? He went, I was the only one. Was there any other Zeuses? And there's loads of other Zeuses. And then they both had a letter that brought back. They both put themselves forward to be on the school council. Right, which is every class. So they're in the same year as twins, but they're in different classes. Every class, people put themselves forward. They have a class vote, and then the winners go on to the school council. And I'm so proud because they want to make the world a better place on a micro level, on some fashion. And I said, "Do you want a handwriting your speech?" They went, "No, thanks. We've seen your shows. I'd rather." I was like, okay, sounds. So they both wrote a speech. And the eldest one, he wrote this speech that was very sensible. He was like trying to play to the governors and the teachers, and it was all very sensible down the middle. The younger one went full on Donald Trump. Like, full on bluster, bullshit, nothing to back it up but conspiracy theories. He's like, we're going to have Pokemon cards everywhere. We're going to fuck Mondays right off. The elder one's going, and I will improve standards in every sector in this school. The younger one's going, I'm going to kill that teacher who smells the biscuits. I'm going to hide in the sports hall. And they had a vote. The eldest one didn't get in. The youngest one, landslide victory. Make school great again. They come home from school that day, and the younger one's, he's so proud, obviously. And the eldest one, he's gutted. And I'm talking to them both, and I said, I'm proud of you for having a go, and I'm proud of you for getting in, and I'm proud of you for trying. I'm proud of you did you try your best? He said, I did try my best. I said, well, you didn't fail then, did you? Because nothing stays the same. Things change. Like, the word masculinity means something very different now than it did when I was a kid. When I was a kid, the word masculinity meant to be strong and silent, and it doesn't mean that anymore. Thank God. It means to be open about the fact that you're struggling. And that's got to be a good thing. I never want to use the phrase man up to my kids ever, because it's toxic and it's redundant and it's useless. But I did say it a couple of times when there was a daddy long legs in the living room. And I was having a shower and I heard screaming and I thought everyone was dead, because I heard, "Ah!" I went, "Oh my God," I ran down. I was like, "What's going on there? What's going on? Daddy long legs." "Which one? This daddy long legs?" "Yes!" I said, "Do you know that one's outside? Do you realise that?" You know what they said? They said, "We know." I was like, "You need to man up, you pair of fucking pussies, Jesus Christ almighty." Because everything changes so quickly as well, and I'm thoroughly aware that my kids are going to be 9 next month. So at what point do some of the great moments just stop completely? One of my favourite moments, kissing them goodnight when they're asleep just before you go to bed. Kiss them on the forehead, tell them you love them. The world makes sense, doesn't it? But like, when does that get weird? Like, I presume when they live in a different house. I mean, I think that'll be weird, won't it? I'll be up in a minute, love. I'm just going to get the megabus to Keele University. Be back about 4, so... Because my kids have got these beautiful, high-pitched, innocent, naive, beautiful little boys' voices. Just the wonder that's in it is wonderful. But one of them, when he's half asleep, his voice changes a little bit. I kissed him goodnight the other day, and as I'm walking out the room, I just said, "Is that you, Daddy?" Depends who's asking, really. It sounds like Jim Bowen, to be honest. "Look at what you could have won, Daddy." Terrifying, but as terrifying as that was, nothing's as scary as the moment that your kid stops calling you mummy or daddy and starts calling you mum or dad. That is heartbreaking, isn't it? One of mine jumped straight from daddy, missed out dad, and now calls me bruh. What the fuck's going on? Bruh. He said bruh. I went, what? He went, bruh. I went, what? He went, bruh. I went, what? The other one calls me Sam occasionally. I know that's my name, but that's weird, isn't it? Now and again, he'll full name me in public. We were in a communal changing room with swimming baths, and he just said, "Dry my bum crack, Sam Avery." I am his dad. He's not my dad, you little shit. You little bastard. People walking past, "Just dry his bum crack, Sam Avery, will you?" "Will Sam Avery please dry his child's bum crack, thank you." Ridiculous. The twins who were 7.5, I don't know if yours is the same as mine in terms of like, almost the developmental moments for ours, for the first 5 years, were pretty much a few days apart, like crawling, talking, walking. They got to 5 and they just went off in different directions. It's fascinating to watch. We're in this communal changing room, the swimming baths, and one of them suddenly got self-aware, and it was heartbreaking. Because he just suddenly went, "Oh, Daddy, can you cover me privates because I don't want people to see them?" And I said, "Of course I can." I wrapped my towel around him. I looked at the other one, and he was like Magic Mike. "Look at my balls, everybody. Hello, random family from Rochdale. Nice to see you again. Don't look around the balls. Look directly into the balls. 3, 2, 1, you're under. Horrible." We went to this water park, and my God, these water slides were crazy, and it was one of them ones where like loads of families at once can just get on, and it's not that deep, and you're all wading through like an assault course. And I got more intimate with another dad on that water slide than I have ever been with my wife. It was fucking horrific. See it happen in about 25 seconds. I was like, "Oh no, go, you go that way. Oh, Jesus, go." Bodies locked together like a flesh jigsaw. Just the more I struggled, the tighter and more intimate we became. I said, "I'm sorry, mate." He said, "I'm sorry." I said, "No, I'm really sorry." He said, "I should have bought you dinner." I said, "You should have brought a condom. This is horrific." And then he said, weirdly, he went, "Are you Sam Avery? I follow you on TikTok." I said, that's not me, no." My son swam past, "Hello, Sam Avery." I was like, "Oh, man." He said, "Can I get a selfie?" I said, "If you take your toe out of my anus, I will give you whatever you need, because I am catching a dose of athlete's arse off you right now, mate." The little moments. It's the little moments in it that break your heart. Like, because ours used to get a bath together, and I used to love bath times, great. And then they had to get separate baths, and that killed me, because we're on a water meter. So, and then they started getting showers, and I used to stand there and shout, instructions and advice. Do that bit, rinse it off, you're done. And then one of them suddenly said, can you wait outside? I want a bit of privacy. And I said, what, me? Your dad? Oh, God, he doesn't need me. He will if he falls, though. I'll put some fairy liquid down. Standing on the landing, just trying to be relevant. I was waiting, and he went, Daddy. I went, yes, son. Yes. He said, Daddy, what's phlegm? I said, phlegm is that white stuff that comes out your nose when you sneeze. He said, oh, some's just come at me willy. It's a bit young, isn't he? Going to make a documentary about him, the boy who came at 8 tonight, Channel 5. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, and it's black. I said, it's black. And I ran in, and it was just a bit of fluff from his underpants. Woo! Woo! I was jealous because only dust comes out of mine nowadays, so. Okay, so. Terrible parent story number 3 happened about 6 months ago. And this was my lowest performance ever as a dad. It was a normal day because I was tired and grumpy and they were loud and annoying, and collectively we were all late for something, which meant that I kept saying we're late, and the more I said we're late, the less they cared. And the less they cared, the more I said it, and the more I said it, the less shits they gave. Kids don't care if you're late, do they? They don't care. They're like some interdimensional species that exist on a different plane to us. To my kids, the phrase "we're late" translates as just have a little dance if you want. I know we're like, Daddy, but I'm going to groove my way through this. We're going to the dentist. He said, we can't be late for the dentist. We've got 5 minutes. Right, get upstairs, clean your teeth. We're in the bathroom going through the daily farce of teeth cleaning, which is just nonsense. And I'm shouting instructions like I'm running a spin class. Do the ones at the front. Do the ones at the back. Stop playing with your willy. Stop playing with each other's willies. That's just weird. Just rinse it off. Rinse it. You're not cleaning your teeth properly. You're not. He said, I am. I said, you're not. I said, your toothbrush, it's not even in your mouth. Do you know what he said? He said, what can I say? That's my technique. Now, you know you're in a bad mood and that doesn't even make you smile. That's a good line. I was like, just rinse it off. And they rinse it off. Right, come and get your shoes on. We've got to go in 4 minutes. Go and find your shoes. They're not your shoes. Get your shoes. They're on the wrong feet. Get your shoes. Not your school shoes with tracksuit bottoms. You look like Jimmy Savile. That's socks and sandals. I'm sorry. I don't care how late we're going to be. That is not. No, you can't. No, you can't. I'm not allowing it. Because you look like a 57-year-old virgin. That's why. I'm not telling you what a virgin is, but you'll grow up to be one the way you're dressing. Jesus Christ. Those shoes do not belong to anyone in this house. Right. We've got to go in 3 minutes. We can't miss the dentist. I keep saying we can't miss the dentist. And then I say, does anyone realise how hard it is to get a dentist these days? They're 8 years old, like they're going to go, oh yeah, I was reading about that in the New Statesman last week. Yeah, the privatisation of the dental services is indicative of the wider health service as a whole. They're not just having a disco in the living room. Right, we've got to go in 2 minutes. Where are my keys? Anyone see my keys? Where are my keys? I don't know where my keys are. And I'm looking everywhere for my keys, and I know my head's falling off because I'm looking for my keys in places where keys don't live. I'm in the kitchen. I'm looking under cupboards. While I'm there, the fridge. Fuck off. Where are my keys? And I'm shouting, where are my keys? And I'm running everywhere, and they're following me. And every time I change direction, we all bang into each other like a gaggle of dickhead ducks just all over the... Where are my keys? Has anyone seen my keys? One of my lads says, they're in your hands. I went, oh yeah? For some reason, that made me more angry. They're in my hands. Why didn't you say something? You should have said something, shouldn't you? You could have helped me. Just making a muppet of myself here. We're going to be late now. One of them says to his brother, Sam Avery's very angry today, isn't he? No! Don't call me that. It's not my name. I mean, it is my name, but don't call me that. And the other one goes, bruh. I went, no. Not bruh, not bro, not brethren, not bloods. You call me daddy, or you call me dad, and this is where it got really weird, or you call me sir. What the fuck's going on here? My head's falling off. What am I going to do next? Shove him up the chimney. Clean that chimney, will you? Like screaming. And then one of them goes, okay, sorry, father. Which is funny but makes me more angry than I have ever been. And something happened in that moment that I didn't know I was capable of, because every single one of us has a dam in our brain that keeps at bay all of our petty grievances that don't need to be aired. And when he said that, that dam burst. And all these things just started coming out my mouth, and I was screaming at him, "You get up too early every morning! You're always kicking me in the balls! I've not had sex with your mum since 2010! And you were born in 2015, so that's got me thinking. You're not even listening, are you? You're not even listening." I keep screaming that you're not even listening, but they are listening, because they're terrified and they've gone white and they're shaking, and I feel like shit and I don't know what to do. So I decided to take another deep breath to continue my rant. And something stops me, because the tension is suffocating all of us, and they're scared and I'm scared, and I just feel terrible, and none of us know what's going to happen next. And we stand there in silence, all of us just terrified. And if you're lucky, sometimes the universe gives you exactly what you need. Because in that exact moment, one of my lads leant to the side and let out a fart. Which went on for about 12 seconds. We all just stayed at the ceiling and just waited for it to happen. When it finished, I went, "What you say?" And his brother said, "Please like and subscribe." I was like, oh. We all said sorry. We all had a little hug. We all forgave each other. And it was beautiful, and I felt like shit. I felt terrible. We went to the dentist. We made it on time. The family before us were very late indeed. Thanks to them. And that night, I was kissing them goodnight, and my lad's going, "Oh, sorry we were late for the dentist, Daddy. I love you, Sam Avery. I love you." I love you too, Mel B from Bo Selector. Kids don't hold a grudge, do they? Kids just forgive. We don't forgive ourselves. We held grudges on ourselves all the time. And that night, I sat downstairs and I decided to forgive myself. I decided, clean slate. What am I going to do? I just pulled out a piece of paper and I just started writing down thoughts in my head, things that I want to tell my kids, things that I've learned about this world. And one day, I'm going to share this list with my kids, but tonight, I'm going to share it with you. So these are all the things that I've learned about the world. Be whomever or whatever makes your heart sing. Follow your dreams and love whoever you want, as long as they're of legal age and not from Swindon. Never be afraid to admit when you're struggling. Never hide your fears, and never shove anything man-made up your bum. And if you must, don't get it stuck. Don't do things just to please other people. Always question new information unless I tell you something, in which case consider the matter closed. Never rub your bum on the good cushions. Always speak to new people, but never talk to strangers. And if you can work that one out, please explain it back to me. Don't let people tell you that words aren't powerful. Words form ideas, ideas form movements, and movements change lives. But sometimes it's best to stop talking and listen. Don't use another man's towel to mop up urine. Better to shit then shower than shower then shit. 3 good friends is better than 10 acquaintances. 2 good friends are better than 10 fair weather friends, and a friend with benefits trumps them all. Farting is immune from the laws of comic timing. It always was and always will be funny. People who don't at least smile from an inappropriate bottom burp are dead inside and should be avoided at all costs. Grow up but stay young. Learn when to be serious and when to be playful. Some people will let you down. Sometimes you'll let others down. Use that experience to grow, and never forget the friends whose loyalty never wavers. Apologize when you get things wrong, but never apologize for snoring. It's a genetic problem that you will be cursed with. Laughing at someone else falling over doesn't make you a bad person. Unless they're horrifically injured and you're a paramedic. Be kind to people who aren't kind to you. You don't know what they're going through. The road to success is unique for everyone. Some take the lift, some climb the stairs. You might have to scale the walls while people at the top take pot shots to try and knock you down. But never judge your achievements against those of others. Enjoy the journey, because the destination isn't real. You'll love this next one. You don't always need to wear a condom, only when you're having sex. Solid advice. Don't let anyone tell you how to look, what to wear, or how to style your hair, but avoid mullets like the clap. Hemorrhoids are hard to spell, but even harder to get rid of. Eat fruit and veg. The snooze button is a false economy. No one has ever benefited from 9-minute chunks of broken sleep. Question authority, but never question mine. Everyone needs at least one bad relationship in their life. It puts the others into perspective. Brush your teeth, wash your balls, and never buy a prawn sandwich from a petrol station. Life can be scary, bad things can happen, but look in the right places with the right people, and you'll find a world filled with love, joy, and purpose. But mainly, when all is said and all is done, please know, I did my best. Thank you for coming to my show, Leeds. I love you all. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.